Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Dr. Zarina. Come on into the broadcast when you get in. Come on in, come on in. It's Rebound Your Health TV with Dr. Z. Dr. Z, I'm here. It's 8 o'clock, just after 8 o'clock actually. We started today at 8:10. So I want to get you guys in. I know you have a busy, probably a very busy evening, as many of us do. Hi, Tracy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mwah. Thank you for joining. Well, thank you for joining. Please hashtag MVP when you get into the broadcast so I can say hello. We can get in action. Everybody's excited. I hope you're excited. I'm excited as always to be here with you all. I appreciate you coming. Hashtag MVP. High five. I can't wait to see you too soon. I know that we should, I guess in a couple more months. So I'm so excited to see you. Thank you for coming. Please invite and share. There should be a link or some kind of share button below, and you can either invite people or even share the actual broadcast so they can join in with us. I'm excited to talk to you guys today. Sometimes I feel like the workout newbies or those who are trying to get into gear, right? They sometimes get the short end of the stick because a lot of our conversations end up being about it, kind of like already here. You maybe work out a lot, you may be already the kind of big athlete, but sometimes our workout newbies get the short end of the stick. So I wanted to give a few tips for you guys who your MVPs who oftentimes actually talk a lot about well, what do I do if I'm trying to get started? What do I do if I fall off the horse, right? And I'm trying to get back in. How do I get back in the game so I can stay in the game and make sure that I can rebound my health too, right? Long term for your pain freedom. So that's a big question I get a lot of times. And as usual, per usual, I try to bring topics to you all that you ask me about. I only really want to have a conversation and have episodes and broadcasts like these that you care about, Hi, Dr. DeQuisha. What's going on? Hashtag MVP when you get into the broadcast, please. I really appreciate it. Please invite or share. I'm going to give it about maybe another 90 seconds or so before we jump right into the actual topics to make sure that we give this valuable information for those of us who are actually trying to make sure that we can rebound our health. Hi, Dr. Leslie Ann. Hey, Dr. Z. Connection Whoa, so we'll catch the replay. You rock. Thank you. You rock too. I learn from the best, right? We are amongst good company. Thank you, Dr. Leslie Ann, for even checking in. And please catch the replay. I love you. Mwah. She's an awesome physician. I love her. Her energy is like 10 times mine, y'all, for real. So if you have a chance, follow Dr. Leslie Ann, MD, on all social media platforms. She's totally dope. Dr. DeQuisha as well, mindset coach. She's awesome as well. Really helps you with just visualizing your possibilities for your life. So thank you, Dr. DeQuisha, for being here. Hashtag MVP when you get into the broadcast, and please click and share this video. Click and share this broadcast. Again, sometimes this information that I share is maybe you feel like, oh, I don't need that topic. It's not for me. But it's not so much about us personally, right? Sometimes it's about us sharing this information so that we can totally help other people. That's what I'm all about. That's what it's about, being a part of this MVP tribe. Hashtag MVP when you get into the broadcast is that we are team players. You know, MVPs are always team players when you really think about it in general. There's no I in that. And the reason why people are MVPs in their lives or part of their teams or in their families is because they are team players. Okay, back on. Yes, Dr. Leslie Ann. Appreciate it. Thank you. I learned from you. Mwah, Dr. DeQuisha. You guys so awesome. So rock. My tribe, y'all, is like bomb. My tribe is bomb. Definitely. Yes, that's Tracy. So let's jump in since we're here. If a few more people will come into the broadcast, I love how you guys get into action, because actually what it does is it really helps people who are coming in and joining us with the broadcast when you kind of put into the captions, into the comment section what I'm saying, because it helps other people get into action and participate in their own wellness, right? So when I give you a tip, please, like as usual, per usual, you guys are always on it, always in your MVP thing. Please, per usual, when you get into, when I start giving you these tips, write those tips down into the comment section. Hey, Travis, family's in the house. Yes, what I'm talking about, CPD in the house. Definitely, please share this. This may be helpful to other family members if it's not yourself or someone else, but please click share or invite this broadcast so it can truly help somebody. So let me introduce myself for those who don't know me, I am Dr. Zarina, also known as Dr. Z, your sports medicine and integrative pain management physician. I'm here to help you and others, help you rebound your health and ultimately get to your what? Your pain freedom. Y'all say it with me, pain freedom. And pain freedom, you guys, I do this through my concierge practice, my medical practice, authoring, speaking engagements, and platforms just like this, broadcasts just like this, to help you get to your next, ultimately obtain pain freedom. And sometimes pain is not always the physical. And sometimes even when it is the physical, it's the manifestation of some other stressors, some other pains, be it mental, emotional, that is manifesting itself physical. And that's what I specialize in. I have to get to the root problem, and we do that from the inside out and the outside in to ultimately get you long-term pain freedom. That's what I'm here for, guys. Always, always. You know it's my passion. Those who know me personally or know me beyond, that's what I'm passionate about. Dr. Leslie said, I love your spirit, sweet spirit, genuine MVP. Oh, I love you. And that's just an echo and a reflection of you, boo. I really appreciate that. That's really, really humbly. I really appreciate that. So at the end of the day, let's jump right into it. What I wanted to help and talk about today, like I said, was actually those of you who feel like a little left out sometimes, I think, with the conversations. In particular, I sometimes say, well, I'm not an athlete, Dr. Zarina. You know, I don't do workout very regularly, or I used to and I fell off because this happened or that happened in my life. And, you know, I just didn't get back on the saddle. It's really difficult, or it's hard for me to stay on the saddle when things happen in my life. First of all, we want you to know that there's two things that you can do. First of all, you can actually visit us or join us in the MVP Lifestyle group and with Dr. Zarina on Facebook. It is a closed group because I only really wanted people there who actually want to participate and really are engaged and have the courage, right? The courage to engage in their own lives to make sure that they can be surrounded by like-minded people, but also surrounded by a loving environment that's going to help propel you towards your goals. That's what we try to do in the MVP Lifestyle with Dr. Zarina Facebook group. The other thing you can do is actually reach me. It's in the caption. You'll see it. It's a link in there where you can actually schedule your free discovery consultation with me so I can help you identify and redirect you or direct you how you can rebound your health. That is a free consultation visit. You don't get that a lot if you think about it, a lot around anywhere, quite frankly, but I really, really am so passionate about that because I want to help you guys make sure you get to your next. So you can definitely do that as well, okay? In the caption above, there's a link where you can schedule your free consultation visit with me so I can help you discover and strategize how we can get you to your next, okay? So that's number one. But get to the tips for first of all, right? At the end of the day, those are the reasons when people come to me. How to get on the saddle, how to stay on the saddle, all those things above. And one of the very first tips I tell people is, first of all, don't overcommit. That's tip number one. If you guys can put down in there, please put that in there. Don't overcommit. Don't overcommit. That's important. It's actually really, really key in terms of not overcommitting, because that actually could potentially set you up for it kind of sets you up for sabotage at the end of the day. We start to sabotage ourselves in a sense of when we overcommit. An example of that would be, you might say, okay, I have to do, the studies tell me I should be working out 5 days a week for 30 to 45 minutes a day. Well, yeah, studies say that. But if you're a person who's never worked out, or you haven't worked out in many, many months, or sometimes in many, many years, if you overcommit yourself, you actually begin to start to sabotage your goals. So what I'm saying is don't overcommit. Instead, let's start where we can, which is maybe 1 day a week. That's fine too, because what it does is get you in gear and start the momentum by getting into gear, right? Just doing something. And also that 30 to 45 minutes, you may say, I don't have 30 to 45 minutes. Well, that's a mindset thing. We can work on through that too. And sometimes that 30 to 45 minutes is really difficult to find in our day. If you wear as many hats as I do, right? It is difficult. No one's actually pretending that it's not. But what we are saying that what you're going to have to do is maybe decrease that 30 to 45 minutes just to actually at least get on the saddle to initiate that momentum. So yours may be 1 day a week for 10 to 15 minutes. Commit to that and stay consistent with that. Even if it takes you 3 to 4 weeks to get to your 2 days a week. Don't beat yourself up about that. That's what I am saying. Hi, Michael. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to Rebound Your Health TV. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Please click share or join so you can actually definitely so that you can definitely share this information and somebody else can benefit. Thank you for coming. Hashtag MVP when you get into the broadcast. So that's extremely, extremely important when it comes down to you guys. Don't overcommit, because you can set yourself up for self-sabotage. You can set yourself up for failure in a lot of ways where you feel like that's why you fall off the saddle. And also the reason you don't want to overcommit as well, which leads me to tip number 2. Please put this in the please put this in the comment section. Don't overdo it. This is a little slightly different than don't overcommit. Don't overdo it is meaning that sometimes we get a bit overzealous and we jump right in and we just doing too much too soon. Too much too soon. Too much too soon. And even though your intentions are pure, your intentions are good, you know, the reason you're doing it in the first place is you're trying to rebound your health and get yourself into gear so that you can have the benefits, right, of a improved and optimizing your body, your ability to perform and your body's function. But you can overdo it. Too much too soon is actually gonna, put a timeout on that. You don't want to do that, because a couple things can happen. Number one, what can happen with that? This is perfect timing. I needed this message. Mwah! Absolutely. You're welcome. You're welcome. And thank you for joining. I didn't even see you there, Sister Najma. Thank you for joining. Don't overdo it, because now you overdo it. Exactly. Now you're overdoing it. Don't overdo it, because at the end of the day, you can also risk what they call overuse injury, right? Or also you can run the risk of just injury in general, because your body was not prepared for you to go from 0 to 100 miles per hour, right? That's a really, really thing. Hi, Naila. Hi, Carol. Welcome to the broadcast. Mwah. Welcome, welcome. Hashtag MVP when you get into the broadcast. Please let us know to hear. We'd love for your participation. So that's extremely important, guys. Extremely, extremely important. Don't overdo it. You actually run the risk of injury. And that's no good, right? Because then you just got back on the saddle. Now you injured, and now you're bummed out. So pause, time out. Bring it back a little bit, and don't overdo it. That's our tip number 2. Tip number 2 is don't overdo it. I give you a great example of a situation. Bless their heart, but we working with them now. I had a patient who was an athlete, actually. This happens a lot with my athletes, actually, and they get bummed out too. But this person was an athlete, and they got injured, hamstring injury. We helped them get back to where they were or needed to be to actually perform. I did give them a clearance to return back to play, but the difference was I told them to not go full throttle. What they were supposed to do was a gradual return, right? And I advise people like that too. If you're coming off an injury, don't go back full throttle because you're just so eager to do it. And if you're not coming off an injury, maybe you just haven't worked out in a while. That's what we're talking about, right? Don't go full throttle with that either. Dr. Leslie said, when you were on All-American Athlete, you think you always at the peak, right? Exactly. And you're not. We always feel that way, right? We always feel that way. Like our minds tell us to go faster than our bodies are really ready to do. So you don't want to, overdo it too soon, because you're actually going to run the risk, like I said, of potentially injuring yourself. And also your body is not ready. Your body doesn't even have the reserve to do what you're asking it to perform. And then we have the nerve to tell it to go from 0 to 100. No, you have to gradually get yourself up to that point. So it's really, really critical, because I don't want you guys out there injuring. And to that story I was telling, they injured their hamstring. I cleared the person to go back to working out, but with a gradual return. And we kind of graded that out. It's kind of patient specific a lot of times. So with their patient specific regimen that I gave them, and we lined it all out, they jumped the gun. They basically overdid it against what I told them to do, and unfortunately re-injured themselves, and now that prolonged their ability to get back to competition, right? And for your case, it may not be competition you're trying to get back to, but you may be just trying to get back to things that you enjoy. Maybe you like walking the mall, and you can't quite do that for an hour or two because you're hurting, or because you're in pain, or because you don't have endurance even, right? Maybe you don't even have the endurance to do that. Again, you can overdo it if you do too much too soon. You cannot tell us that. Competitive, I know. Some of you guys are just, and I can relate. I'm a competitor. I was a professional. I'm not professional. I could have, I guess, right? But I was a collegiate athlete, basketball, the whole thing. And I played actually competitively in medical school. And so I understand the mentality of just, we want to get in there and do it and go full throttle. But in order for us to really truly do that and optimize our ability and our performance, we have to still listen to our bodies, which actually brings me to tip number 3. Listen to your body. Sometimes even me as the physician, when you're coming in and I'm telling you or giving you recommendations or suggestions of what you can do, even when you do them, usually my caveat to every suggestion or recommendation when it comes to functional things is that at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you to listen to your body, even in those recommendations that I'm giving you. Why? Because I'm not in those motions with you. I'm not standing next to you. And even if I were, I don't feel what you feel. So there's a couple of things that you can really need to be aware of when you're thinking about what does that mean, listening to my body. Well, I actually don't believe no pain, no gain. I believe soreness, no gain, right? You know, soreness is a different beast, and we do need to learn how to differentiate the two. Some of us have high tolerance of pain. Some of us have low tolerance of pain. Some of us are right in the middle. But number 3 is still to listen to your body. I even rather you stop the activity, even if it was a soreness that you just never felt before, and then seek me out or seek out some, assistance or whatever to identify if that's something you should really be worried about. Hi, Dr. Tanya, the riot starter is in the house. Hashtag MVP when you get into the broadcast. Thank you for joining. The riot starter is in the house, y'all. Thank you for joining, Dr. Tanya. So for sure, you want to make sure that you listen and stop the activity if it makes you feel uncomfortable to the point where it makes you go, I'm a little concerned. I typically tell people when they hear little cracks, not a loud crack, but like a crickly crack sort of thing when you're doing like a squat or a lunge in your knees, for instance, that doesn't bother me. But painful cracks and painful pops do. Those are the things that I get more concerned about. So, and the reason I'm not as concerned about crickly cracks when you're making motions and movements and things like that is because a lot of times it can be arthritis, or it can be just that it's not, a lot of times it can be arthritic, most of the time actually. And that's really why that doesn't really bother me. And even if it's not arthritis, so I have some young people who, they do kind of crack and pop or whatever. But painful pops in general, again, there's caveats to that. They don't bother me. But if it's a painful pop, painful crack, painful loud noise, then you want to stop that activity. Or you may do a motion and you didn't feel much pain at all. And a lot of you tell me, well, it was at the end of my workout, Dr. Z, that I actually started to have pain. It wasn't during. Well, even that's a sign that you don't necessarily repeat to that particular activity. And that might be the next day where you need to implement your rest day. Okay. That actually brings me to tip number 4. Schedule your rest days in there. Again, don't be too overzealous, even when a lot of you, some of you, not a lot of you, but some of you end up being part of groups, or you have accountability partners, which I actually do highly recommend. It really helps to motivate you and keep you in momentum. But don't necessarily try to keep up with your partner. Having an accountability partner does not mean that you all have to be at the same pace at the same time, right? Accountability partners are more of the mindset and the motivation and the camaraderie to make sure that you're encouraging each other. But sometimes when you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, right, even in your workouts, that can put you at risk for injury and put you at risk for pain and put you at risk for issues. So the idea of having a partner is not necessarily being at the same pace at the same time, but it is about supporting and lifting and encouraging each other up. Yes, you can have a little friendly competition, but again, it has to be based on where you are, where you started, and not necessarily your partner, okay? So that's really critical. That's really, really important. Hi, Tanita. Welcome to the broadcast. Boom, boom, boom. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please hashtag MVP when you get into the broadcast. So don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Exactly. In so many words, right? So you want to make sure that that's extremely, extremely important. Schedule your rest days in there, okay? Especially if you're one of those people who try to, I have somebody who told me, oh, my rest days are Saturdays and Saturdays. Oh no, Saturdays and Sundays. So they go intense and do like intense workouts. So a lot of times I have to pull you back and say, no, you need to put your rest day in between. If you do 2 intense workouts 2 days in a row, then your rest day may need to be on day 3, and then go back to workout, and then another rest day. If you're doing really intense workouts. If you're doing a casual, brisk, kind of casual walk, and you're doing like maybe that 4 days in a row, that may be okay. But again, you have to know where you started, and that's extremely important. So that definitely is number 1. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Let me make sure I didn't, you broke, don't keep up with the Joneses. Everybody put that in. Exactly, don't keep up with the Joneses. I don't believe that pain, no gain. Pain is not good. Sore or burn I can do, but don't pain no. That's right. I prescribe to that. I know, I don't really know exactly where that came from. No pain, no gain. But that burn and soreness, you do want to be able to be familiar with those. Those are appropriate and good and expected. You know, you want to have that. You don't want to go through your entire workout and you felt like you didn't work out either, right? So that burn and that soreness is to be expected, but pain is not to be expected. It's not normal. It's not okay. And maybe if anybody want to argue me down about that, that's completely fine. You can go do that person, go with that person. That's why everybody's entitled, to their opinions. But I've done this for a long time, guys. I always tell you, I'm not apologetic about my skill set or my knowledge base. I'm very, very good at what I do. Humbly speaking, but I'm very good at what I do. And I spend a lot of years to make sure that the information I bring you guys is valuable information, is on the spot, is from experience as well as real documented evidence-based medicine, because I believe in that as well. So this is me not throwing stuff at you. I'm really trying to give you guys high value in the most Dr. Zarina way, okay? If I feel it during, I make my trainer find me something else. Exactly. Today was a rest day because I overdid it Tuesday. Exactly. Dr. Tanya, hashtag MVP win for you, because that is exactly my point, and that was one of the tips. Listen to your body and rest day. You put all of that in one thing. So that's what I'm talking about. That was all in one thing, Dr. Tanya, and that is a hashtag MVP win for sure. And I applaud you for that, because once you spoke up, guys, that's one you want to think about. She spoke up, and that's something that a lot of us do. A lot of my patients do this. They say, yeah, it hurt. I said, did you say something to the trainer, or did you say something to your therapist? And they'll say, no. Many of you say no. And it's a lot of times I'm surprised, because some of you are very you speak up about other things, but not about your body, not about your health. I need to break that out. We need to break that up. Hi, Dr. Dreon. Thank you, Dr. Dreon, for coming. Guys, my mentor, my coach is in the house. I really appreciate that. I really humbly appreciate that. Welcome to the broadcast to Rebound Your Health TV with Dr. Z. And I please help click, share, like this broadcast if you, hopefully it can be helpful to somebody else. But yes, Dr. Tanya, hashtag MVP win for that one, because that's extremely important. And then you know what she did, guys. The other check she did was she scheduled her rest in there. She said, that was painful. And then on another broadcast, we can actually talk about what you need to be doing during that rest day. Rest day is also an opportunity for you to pour into yourself, right? So that when you return back to that activity or to exercise, that what you were ingesting, right, what you were eating, what you were drinking, was preparing that recovery, that muscle recovery, so that you can really optimally go for what you need to go. A lot of guys think carbs are bad and things like that. But when it comes to the ATP and the energy for the breakdown of the muscles, which again, I can probably do another broadcast about that, which I will. It's not just an effort to not get off topic, but that's extremely important. I want to emphasize, what does that rest day, maybe that's what we do. What do you do on rest day? Is rest day just a literal rest day? Yes and no. The other things that you want to do with the rest day is the things that you're preparing, right? You're pouring into your body from a nutritional perspective, anti-inflammatory foods and so on and so forth, so that when you return, you can go. You can go. So let me see if I missed a question there. She knows her stuff. Hashtag yes, I do know my stuff. Thank you, Dr. Leslie Ann. Speak up about your body. Absolutely. My workout regimen, Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, if I'm not too fatigued. I like that. Yes. You see how she broke that up. Hashtag MVP win for Dr. Tanita. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. Stretch, yoga, breathing exercises. Yes. All of those, Dr. Leslie Ann, are awesome. Or even on your rest day, you can do yoga, some gentle yoga, breathing exercises, practicing your stretching and improving your flexibility. People neglect flexibility. And we actually do have a YouTube video or a broadcast that was, uploaded to YouTube, and you can find that on Dr. Zarina as well, or Rebound Your Health TV. If you put that into the search on YouTube, any previous broadcasts or episodes you can find there. But in particular that one, because we did have to discuss how people neglect flexibility. It's not all about strength, guys. Everybody want to be strong, got them guns, but you have to be flexible if you want optimal health. Absolutely. Messages on rest day. Absolutely. Hashtag MVP win. Hi, Sandra. Thank you for welcoming me. Welcome to the broadcast. Please join us. Hashtag MVP when you get into the broadcast. And our last tip, guys, Our last tip is what you want to include in the workouts in general, even if you're a newbie. There's 3 components that I really stress that people need to incorporate, and it will actually help you overall to maintain endurance. Okay, so that's one thing. That's actually one of them. 3 components. Here are the 3 components for our tip number. I believe we're on tip 5. Y'all hashtag MVPs. Let me y'all help me out here if I'm on tip number 5. But basically, the 3 components that you want to make sure included is endurance, strengthening, and flexibility. So that was my segue when I talked about, right? It's not just about the strengthening. It's also about flexibility. We absolutely do not and cannot neglect that if we want optimal health, optimal function, and improved quality of life. Because I have plenty of people who are athletes, non-athletes, golden senior citizens or not, or whatever the case may be, who have strength but no flexibility. And that's no bueno. Or you may be flexible and you're not very strong. No bueno. Both of you, those 2 categories of people, will set themselves up for injury and pain long term. And those are the things that I'm trying to prevent. Hi, Angela. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to Rebound Your Health TV with Dr. Z. Thank you for coming. Hashtag MVP when you get into the broadcast. So the 3 components: endurance. You guys can write that down for me. Endurance, strength, and flexibility. Yes, I can incorporate that into one exercise like this, Arena? Yes, you can. And oftentimes I include those into my recommendations or suggestions with high intensity interval training exercises, which is also known as HIIT. And many of you are familiar and some of you not. But we can talk about that again. Also some further broadcasts if that will be of value to you. But in particular, when you're starting a newbie, you can still do LIT. Oh, did she just say lit? I think that's what the kids say, right? Is lit, which is low intensity interval training. I still rather you start there than nowhere. I think I just made up something, y'all. Hashtag lit. I'm gonna have to go ahead and what's he call it? Get my trademark for that. LIT, L-I-I-T, low intensity interval training for my newbies. And that's actually what this broadcast is all about. Endurance, flexibility, and strengthening. You can still do that when you're just starting off. So interval training is still going to be good. Why? Because you create muscle confusion. You're going to create your body to actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Create muscle contraction and muscle activation of the accessory muscles. So sometimes we have these big muscle groups, but until we come out of we go into the same plane, on the same plane. Well, if you're doing your squats, okay, right? We do our squats. But that's just one plane. You have to come out of there and go at the angle even, okay? Go at different angles so that you can catch other muscles so that muscle activation, muscle confusion as well, they're just going to optimize that one workout. Even if you're doing a lit workout. I know. I just got that. I love that one. Actually, I just made that up. I love that. So yeah, lit, low intensity interval training. Seriously, guys, I actually do prescribe that to some of my workout newbies or my patients who say, I want to kind of start off somewhere. I actually do prescribe them low intensity interval training or recommend it, and I give them examples of what they can do. I just never coined it lit, but maybe I should. Anyway, did y'all like that? Get it? Y'all know Dr. Zarina is all for the happy days, okay? So if that's helpful for you guys, that's kind of the terms of what we want to talk about today. So those are our 5 tips. If we can recap really quick, and then I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday. So first of all, we talked about don't overcommit, right? We talked about don't overcommit because that, once again, can potentially be self-sabotage and set you up for failure, and that's not what you're trying to do. You really want to just commit to something. So even if it's 1 to 2 days a week, do that. If it takes you 4 weeks to get to 2 days, fine, but you're consistent. It's about the persistent behavior, the persistent activity, even if it's a small activity, a small change that's going to lead to your big transformations. I promise you, okay? I promise you. Squats with high front kicks are a great workout. Yes, it can add weights for intensity. Absolutely, Dr. Lezianne. I love that. That's the whole point, that when you do a workout, I know for me is exactly as well, is you want to make sure that you're engaging all of the different muscle groups, your upper body and lower body. That way you get a full workout in one workout. You don't have to worry about spending hours and hours and hours or days and days and days. You can maximize your workout there. That's why Dr. So number 1, don't overcommit. Number 2, don't overdo it. Thank you, Dr. Lezianne. Hashtag MVP for keeping me on track. And number 3, listen to your body. Extremely important. Number 4, schedule your rest days, okay? Schedule your rest days. Don't minimize the importance of your rest days because, again, set yourself up for potential risk for injury or overuse injury. And then you're going to be out the game anyway, right? That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to stay in the game and stay consistent. So that's number 4. And then number 5 is the 3 components: endurance, flexibility, and strength. Try to incorporate that into one workout. And I promise you, you're going to win. You'll have a bunch of MVP wins, and I'll be right there cheering for you. Matter of fact, if you need me, I'm here for you. In the caption above, there is a link where you can schedule your free, no obligation discovery session with me. That link will send you to a page where you can pick a day and pick a time. So thank you guys for coming with me on this ride this evening. I hope this was helpful. Please share, like, invite, whatever, for those of you that may think that it could be helpful to other people besides yourself. That's all what it's all about. You can join us in the MVP Lifestyle with Dr. Zarina Facebook closed group if you'd like to get more of this and little tips. Sometimes I do huddle days where we do just some quick tips for the help you throughout the week, and food and exercise and pain options and so on and so forth. I can't wait to see you and join you in there, as well as again, the link above if you would like to schedule a discovery session. But you know me, I'm Dr. Zarina, also known as Dr. Z, your sports medicine and integrative pain management physician, here to help you rebound your health and ultimately obtain what, guys? Say it with me. Pain freedom. I do this through my concierge practice, through my medical practice, through authoring, through speaking engagements and platforms just like this, broadcasts just like this to help you get to your next. I do this from the inside out, the outside in, and at the end of the day, you're the MVP of our team, the most valuable person in your life and your health. You got to claim it, you got to do it, because we're no good to anybody else if we can't be that for ourselves. You know I love you guys, each and every one of you, every single time. Thank you for joining me this Thursday. I can't wait to join you guys again, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.